It's time for our daily dose of ENVA. I love my daily dose of fucking EN fucking VA drama. Just the greatest thing in the entire world, you know? I so fucking enjoy this. Oh, yes, definitely. Ugh. All right, what is it this time? What is it? What is it?
So, do you guys remember the voice actress Kaylee Mills, the VA4?
We're starting off with her? Really? This is how we're starting it off with? What'd she do this time? What happened here?
Kaching in Genshin Impact, and also the character Rappy in the game Nikke. How she was one of the most vocal VAs harassing voice actor Jacob Takanashi after he got the role of Kenichi and made his announcement post over on Twitter. She had been criticized in numerous posts that have been spread online across Twitter and Reddit, etc., etc. One of the worst takes that she made about Jacob Takanashi was this one that eventually got deleted after enough backlash, but it read this. Kaylee Mills said, "This is one small job for him, not his full-time work. It's Karina's bread and butter. He's done very little VO work, so it isn't what he's relying on to pay the bills. For all we know, his wife's the breadwinner. Either way, they bought a house recently, so I doubt it was a necessary job for survival." The stuff that she was already saying about Jacob Takanashi was already bad enough, and this just set things on fire much more. Two main reasons. One, the start of the post talks about the VA for Paimon and Genshin Impact Karina, and how Karina is still working on Genshin Impact, and how a number of the VAs in that particular clique of SAG bootlickers have tried to justify Karina working on Genshin Impact while they tell people not to work on it, that they gotta be striking it, or this collective work refusal, however you want to put it. And the second part, people criticized for bringing up personal information. Personal information, looking into the guy having a house recently and bringing up his wife and stuff like that, speculating that he doesn't need the work, he doesn't need to make that money, he's fine, you know, all kinds of unprofessional, pathetic behavior. And so she was getting backlash from a bunch of people on the internet, but especially the Genshin Impact community. And then eventually there was a Nikke live stream where in the live chat, people were asking for
we saw this one.
Rappy when Rappy appeared on screen during the live stream event. Others booing her, saying things like terrible VA, bunch of people saying recast. As you can see on screen, there is some examples. And so according to my recollection, it was like a mere day or two after that all happened, after the live stream backlash, when Kaylee Mills decided to come out with an apology post. Many people skeptical of this for a number of reasons, but specifically as well because of the timing. How she didn't apologize at all throughout these weeks, but suddenly after she's also getting backlash from
Hold on, wait, let me see. We all know you're only wait, let me take a read. Okay, let's take again. I know he's gonna read them, but I want to take a read real quick. To be honest, I have been advised against getting further involved in a situation at all, but I feel like this is the right thing to do. So here we are. First of all, I realized my criticism to Jacob should never have been public. Okay, but you weren't even criticizing him. Hun, okay. All right, well, it's already an error number one already. Although I was far from the first person to make a response, further involving fans was not necessary. Only caused more strife. I also apologize for bringing up the public tweet I saw in passing about him purchasing a home. It was wrong of me to use that as an argument that he didn't need this one job to make ends meet. I was frustrated trying to explain a point, and honestly, none of that is any of my business. I don't want it to be, and it didn't matter to the point I was trying to make at all. Okay. I did send him a message privately on April 2nd to apologize about getting the public further involved and explain why we were upset. Also that at least personally, there are no feelings of hatred or any hopes of ill will, personally or professionally. I do not know him, but I thought about what I would do if a friend or a close colleague did something I found hurtful to our community. But okay, all right, okay. And I would have indeed not responded publicly. I would have confronted them directly. Although I originally had a much longer statement, and I'm interested in clearing up more of the misinformation I see about our refusal of work versus the official SAG strike, etc. I don't want to further involve any specific actors. The overall situation is so much bigger and more nuanced than this, and I hope in the future we can have a better conversation. In the meantime, I'm doing the work behind the scenes to try and support my community the best that I can. Right. Uh-huh.
Flash. When Kaylee Mills decided to come out with an apology post, many people skeptical of this for a number.
Let me see. Are you? What is the point of this? Yeah. Let me see, what else we got? This is not something you feel you should do. This should be obvious thing to do. This doesn't make it better. It's actually worse since you saw he was already bullied and you joined in. Yep, that's true. That's true right there. Take care, Tiv. Be safe. So you're not apologizing because of what you said, but because you publicized it, so you still have the same opinion of him till now, which is that one. You're way off now. This is between you and him, not the fans. True. Also meant you already apologized for one thing, which from what I see, completely nothing. It being public doesn't make it better. Why specify it? This one is the first and only good thing in your apology. True. Wow, 2 out of 10, huh?
Number of reasons, but specifically as well because of the timing. How she didn't apologize
Let's
at
see.
all.
We all know you're only apologizing because you got wrecked and destroyed because you were a piece of shit. And any apology after something like that just seems disingenuous and insincere. No thanks. You should just fade away into obscurity. Too little, too late. Not genuine. I've grown up with narcissistic parents. I can recognize a pattern when I see it. Besides, stop saying you are striking towards Hoyoverse. Joe Zija, whatever that is, one of your coworkers made a video explaining the situation. So much for accountability
Throughout these weeks, but suddenly after she's also getting backlash from the Nikkei community on a Nikkei live stream, now she's apologizing. It made it look like she was fine with the Genshin community disliking her, thinking that she could still like bank on the Nikkei community having her back, and then when she got backlash there too, oh guys, I'm sorry. It seemed like the majority of people in the comments were not receiving her apology well at all, that they largely found it to be insincere for the reasons that we just went over and others that I'm not going to recap here, as this is something I covered in detail weeks back. Point being, this is all going to lead us over to Blue Sky, where we're going to take a look at a number of unions supporting VAs and how they all seem to have this recurring theme together of this lack of self-awareness. And of course, we're going to start with Kaylee Mills. As over on Blue Sky, she's reposted this guy Ben Diskin and also left a response, but first we'll take a look at what Ben has to say to get the context here. So, Ben Diskin, profile pic says on strike. Bio claims to be a voice actor. And Ben Diskin says, I'm really worried about the future. I feel the trend of discourse isn't learning and growing, but looking for gotcha info, even if it's misunderstood or flat out wrong, to win an argument at any cost. There is strength in acknowledging your own mistakes or weaknesses and learning from them. And it's pretty crazy that Kaylee Mills sees this post, apparently thinks it's like a good point, enough to repost it onto her own account, and it's like, dude, that's literally what you did. One of the tweets that we went over, as you saw, is a tweet where she was basically trying to get personal information, digging up personal information on Jacob Takanashi to try and use against him. This completely failed, of course, and only got her more backlash, but what this person is saying he's concerned about is, as mentioned, basically what she's done. So does she not see that? Is there really such a lack of self-awareness? It's a bit of a rhetorical question. Oh my gosh, guys, are we in purgatory? So I mentioned that Kaylee Mills responded to this guy, and I went to click it so we could take a look at her response. Because, like, originally I just went to her replies and I found it there. Like, if I scroll a little bit, look, top of the screen, you can see replies, right? right there at the top. And so I found it there originally, her reply. And this time I thought, like, I just click this and see her response there, right? Then I do that, and I instantly see little Karibo. We cannot escape this dude. This dude is all over Blue Sky. Any post that's like involving like stuff like this, little Karibo's right there. You gotta be kidding me.
You, I guess that digs up dirt, that slobbering digged up, you know. He's slobbering it, you know. I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to gain out of this. That's the question I ask. It's like, what's he gaining out of this? He's gaining nothing out of this. Makes no fucking sense.
Okay, so what does little Karibo say on this? I'm extremely tired of every statement being filtered through the worst possible interpretation machine. All right. Well, I don't want to lose track of Kaylee Mills' response here, so I think it was responding to this section. So first, this person, Dave Wallace, says, well, I think it's important to remember that much of the discourse we see online about any subject really isn't really what could be called discourse. It's just bad faith, key phrase. Shouting matches, initiated by people who like riling people up for the lulz. Ben Diskin says, I'm honestly not sure. I think social media reduces nuance and forces things into black and white, good and evil extremes. While I'm sure some of these are trolls, I think there are an alarming number of young kids who think that's really how the world is. I don't know how to reach them. And there's Kaylee Mills. All right. So she says, I feel the same way, but I'm too hurt to try right now. But I think about what we can do. First off, why don't you actually try making like a real apology and not like attacking voice actors?
True.
Trying to manipulate fans and all that. Like, oh gosh, no, the people who manipulate fans are trying to talk about how they can reach young kids to make them think what they want them to think. Oh my gosh, this is not good. Like, what is going on here? These are people who, they're just supposed to be voicing characters, right? Like, all you got to do is act like a normal person and voice characters. But they're out here talking about how they can reach children to make them think things. Now, look, I'm not saying anything more than that. Like, I'm not implying anything with what I'm saying. I'm simply saying it as is. Like, it's just weird that they're trying to, like, influence kids or want to influence kids like that. Like, dude, just voice your character. Apparently, that's, like, too much to ask. Why are some of these VAs so freaking weird, dude? Now, for the record, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a good role model. And a VA being a good role model, to me, I would imagine that could be something like they enjoy the work.
Yep.
They work hard.
Yep.
They're just like a normal, hardworking, good person. They don't attack the fans.
Wow, that kind of basically almost sounds like me. Goddamn, that's crazy.
Attack fellow voice actors. They don't play victim. And then, you know, by showing that you're a hardworking person who enjoys what you do, just being a normal, hardworking voice actor in this context, naturally, aspiring voice actors will look to you as someone that they may think like, okay, that person's pretty cool and they do a good job. Maybe I can learn from how they got there and take some notes, and that is basically becoming a good role model.
Yeah.
Right? But it doesn't seem like these are voice actors talking about how to be a good role model. No, these are VAs specifically talking about how to influence young kids to think and or act a certain way.
Is Berchan?
And that's what I find really odd. Like, what's really going on here? Let's take a look at some more responses that Ben Diskin got here. We've got Kaylee McKee. This is Transgal VO writing D&D Art Yuta JJK Testament Guilty Gear Strive Kiku One Piece Pina B Stars. Oh, okay, got it. A VA. And Kaylee says, quote, I want to reach them, unquote. Is very powerful.
Wait, we gotta fact check these VA people, okay? Because, you know, now in today's day and age, you know, anyone can be a VA now. So, you know, hey, shit, I might as well call myself a VA now, you know? Okay, let me see. Kaylee McKee. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what this person has done. Kaylee, was it Kaylee? Kaylee McKee. But you're already the VA for beta? No, I'm not. I'm not the VA for beta. So this is a trans person? Oh yeah, it is a trans person. Yeah, you can see. Okay, let me see. All right, let's see. Let's take a look, shall we? Okay. I don't know. Oh, interesting. She voiced the Records of Ragnarok. Oh, she voiced fucking Testament from Guilty Gear Strive. Interesting. That's okay. I don't. That's okay. I don't really you know, I don't really play an English dub anyway. So, and that's pretty much about it. 2 in Smites, One Piece, Fire Emblem, Beastars, Genshin Impact, but like and only NPC characters. Jujutsu Kaisen. Some looks like just random NPCs from JoJo Bizarre's Adventures. Kotaro or Kotaro. I don't really know. I don't really know most of them. So yeah, meh. It's kind of like meh.
As something to remember. I hope maybe we can get more people to have this thought above any of the more inflammatory ones. That can be its own change. And then we've got Water Mage, who has nothing in bio, and also Coyote, who has nothing in bio either. And I'd like to focus on the VAs right now, so we're gonna move on. I forgot to show the bio for Dave Wallace to get context on this guy, so let's do that really quick. So, is it gonna work? Why isn't it? Hey, it's not working. Hold on. There we go. Oh no, now it's off screen. I'll have to put that in post-production, but it says actor, audio description narrator, ADR writer, Hiroshi Fukuda, Kuroko's basketball, Paul Eden 0. There you go. Okay, so before all that influence stuff that we ended up stumbling upon, the theme of this video that I was trying to get at was voice actors showing a lack of self-awareness. So let's get back to that. Of course, do let me know what you think about everything we talked about already though in the comments. As we circle back to that though, now continuing, we're back at this post from Shauna Breyer, and you'll see why in a second.
God, not this
when I show you the next
person.
post that we're going
Jesus
to read.
Christ.
First, the context. Shauna Breyer, the VA for Wooglamat, had said, "Hey, I'm going to be real. To all the rich VAs saying, this strike needs to end because your bottom line is starting to hurt.
Yeah, I already know about
Suck
this
it up.
already.
Those of us at the bottom, who have a heck of a lot more to lose, are running Uber Eats, etc.
Yeah,
this.
we already
strike
heard
will
about this
end
already.
when we get our deal." And I had mentioned I thought this was an odd point because according to BehindTheVoiceActors.com, Shauna Breyer has worked like 4 times in the last 5 years or something like that.
Yeah, but that's only like 3 characters. So this person only voiced 3 characters. So because 2 of the characters are the same. See, only 2 of them are the same characters. So this person technically only has done only 3 characters. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
And so, like, there's not much being sacrificed here, apparently. And it's just, like, odd to try and, like, have some moral grandstanding like that when you've worked 5 times as a VA in the last 4 years, according to that website. Now, really quick, something else that's odd is Shauna Breyer and Little Kribo, and I think there was a few other VAs as well, that we talked about over the last few days, were vaguely referencing a post that other VA, Allegra Clark, made on Twitter, where they take certain parts of what Allegra said in her post, such as, the strike needs to end, only to like vaguely reference what she said and like seemingly disagree with it and complain about it over on Blue Sky, which again, I'm just saying is kind of like weird behavior. Like, could you guys imagine if instead of talking about Shauna Breyer's post here and showing it on screen, I'd make a video where it's just like me and I'm like, hey guys, if anyone's saying, suck it up, those of us at the bottom have a heck of a lot more to lose, are running Uber Eats, I think that's like a bad point because it's just like weird, like cowardly. I don't know, dude. Whatever, moving on. That's not that important. Here's the thing I really want to take a look at. So Shauna Breyer then responded to Kaden Jensen. Shauna Breyer said this: casting directors, please fight for your choices and don't just go, quote, it's the client, oh well, unquote. I've been told so many times I've been on the short list for so many things, but I've barely gotten anything new for years. You can't just say you're our allies. You have to actually use the power you have. So on May 3rd, Caden's acting like, Shauna's acting like, so many roles are being given up, you know, I'm sacrificing a whole lot for this strike. And then the next day admits that, like, doesn't really get any roles and blames it on, like, bad allies or whatever. Like, dude, how are you going to act like you're sacrificing so much and then the next day talk about how you're barely getting work and you don't see how that's a bit of a
well, that just means that they are not a very good VA if they're not getting enough roles, you know? I'm just saying. but that's just me anyways. That's just what I think. Maybe she's just not a good VA. That's it.
Lack of self-awareness going on. And I just find it really amusing. I find it interesting how this stuff permeates through the EN voice actor industry so much, and I also find it amusing. And this is not like a one-off thing. As we've seen, a lot of these voice actors in this specific clique, they seem to all share this like lack of self-awareness together. And I don't understand it, but at least it's funny to take a look at, I guess. All right, let's end with some more Blue Sky users mad at me. We've once again got Pomeranian of Doom here. And so Pomeranian of Doom and Alice were talking about the strike and unions.
This is just probably. I will see.
Ultimately, Alice went on to say, regarding the backlash that the strike has been getting, you think this hasn't spilled over beyond Genshin? People aren't blind. I'm not even from the Genshin community, and even I know this ridiculous situation. No one wants to work with entitled American VAs, and no one wants to hear American VAs. You'll feel the effects in due time. Pomeranian of Doom says, not really, no. Aside from a few drama bait YouTubers, most other people do not care. And on the contrary, most of the engagement I've seen about it outside of the fandom has been supportive of the VAs. So the fandom, given this context, is specifically the Genshin fandom, right? But we have actually seen backlash towards the
Pomeranian of Doom
outside of the Genshin fandom.
Yeah, some weird person who has an albedo goddamn profile picture.
The Hades community giving backlash towards it, and also the Nikkei community giving backlash for it, and people who've made videos on the situation. Not even just myself.
Can we scrub this person off the internet? I don't know if it's possible, to be honest.
They're from a variety of gaming communities too. So this person, Dranominator, says, bait, quote unquote, when it's literally just sharing the words you and others say. Supportive, quote unquote, until recently you have quite the bold assumption. Pomeranian of Doom says, yes, it is drama bait. It is not much different than a 2016 era of YouTube when the anti-SJW crowd was at its peak. This is a similar form of alt-right, outright culture. Maybe this really is Karina. Wait, they both have a habit of like making a bunch of typos when they start getting mad. Oh my gosh, dude. I don't know. I'm still not entirely convinced, but this
probably is Karina.
This is getting more and more suspicious because we did see the same thing from Karina. Like frama bait, not drama bait. Alt-right, outright culture. They probably meant to say like outright.
It could probably be a chant.
Huh, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Here's where things start to get really crazy. So, Denominator says, alt-right, referring to far-right white nationalist movement, which is essentially racist at its core. I don't see the connection. Where's the politics here, mate? Don't go injecting politics when it's irrelevant. There is no frame bait. Again, I think they meant drama bait, but who knows? Just evidence of showing what you've said in personal opinion. Pomeranian of Doom says, yes, influencers like Hirohei, who have dramatized this issue, also have a history of those issues as well. No way you said that, bro. What the frick is wrong with you? Is that implying that I have like far white nationalist, like that I'm like a far white nationalist or something? What the frick is that implying? What issues? Racist far white nationalist. Oh my gosh, dude, you're freaking psycho. What's wrong with you? Dramatized? What did bro do? He just showed your own words. The only drama here is the ones you create yourself. He ain't a main part of this drama. He's just a spectator and more of a reporter. Not proud of your own words? Oh, so you are one of his fans. That explains a lot.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, you're nuts. So that was hilarious. Thank you, Pomeranian of Doom, once again for the content. And to any of the people dealing with Pomeranian of Doom, you have my condolences. I mean, that's a real oddball to be dealing with, that's for sure. And then we got this one who says, I don't think you know how reporters like Hirohei work then. The context is a post we can't see, unfortunately, says blocked post. I don't know what's up with that on Blue Sky. I seem to find a lot of those. Maybe it happens when the person blocks a person or something. I really don't know. No idea. But yeah, this person says, I don't think you know how reporters like Hirohei work then. He makes money off stirring up controversy, not from reporting the facts. The truth would be too short of a video and isn't as entertaining to his viewer base.
Unfortunately, if they procreate, it gets passed down. It gets passed down to the child, if you didn't know that.
Also said viewer base wouldn't even agree with the truth. Please tell us what the truth is. What is the truth? And how am I like stirring up controversy? You know who stirred up controversy? All of you guys who attacked Jacob Takanashi. That's literally what started a lot of this.
True, that's actually
in the last like 2
I
months.
assume like after all the whole brain rot we've been watching or so for the Genshin VA stuff. It literally all started with, you know, bullying, you know, Takanashi, you know?
Talking
Not
about
right
strike
now.
after strike starting to fail. Because that's all I had up until the Jacob Takanashi thing happened. I did have a video saying like, hey guys, the strike is starting to fall apart. And it all started because of Dargos88 and Karina, where Dargos88, as you guys know the story by now, I think, but yeah, Dargos88 made a YouTube short basically saying that, hey, Karina said that we can help the strike by emailing Hoyoverse.
We're trying to understand brain rot right now.
And all throughout the comments of
You
that
want to
YouTube
know
short were
something?
people saying like,
You want to know something? Sorry for interrupting, but I rather watch brain rot memes than fucking than watching this shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like watching this whole entire like VA shit. I'd rather watch brain rot memes instead of this. At least that'll be like, you know, maybe one of them will probably make me laugh or something, you know? Honestly. It's just the problem is like these VAs are just stupid as hell. That's the only problem, you know?
like, no, don't do this. Definitely don't do this. The strike is misleading. It's bad for X, Y, and Z, right? Condensing it now. So Darkos88 made a follow-up video apologizing for promoting the strike or promoting, you know, Karina trying to get people to email Hoyoverse and all that stuff. And Karina eventually makes this whole crash out video, gets all mad at Dargos88, goes on a whole like Twitter rant about it and everything. And I made one video talking about the YouTube short situation and the backlash that the strike was getting in the comments there. One video. Then the Jacob Takanashi thing happened, and ever since that,
Why did the chicken cross the road to get to the pretty lady's house?
All on their own. Well, I've
Thank
had
you
now,
for the
like,
follow. Welcome.
going on well over a month worth of stuff to talk about because of what these people are all doing, and I show it here on screen, like saying that I'm like dramatizing things or stirring up controversy and like not showing the truth.
Knock knock.
Really, really bad look. You are completely incorrect. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments. The Kaylee Mills stuff, the other voice actor stuff, these crazy people mad at me. Let me know what you think about all of it. I hope you found this to be
It's so weird. It's so weird how these people are getting mad at him for no apparent reason. Like, number one, right? He's just only saying, you know, not right now. So like he's just literally just covering the news or so what other people are saying. He's just literally just repeating what other people are saying. That's it. Or just showing screenshots and everything like that of what they're talking about, you know. They think that we, you know, well, technically him and every other commentator, every commentating YouTuber is basically like, you know, thinking that we're making drama, you know. Will we keep watching drama stuff or will we be watching something else? Don't worry about it. You gotta make it subtle. I guess so. I guess. Chat, honestly, chat, you want to know something? Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. By the recording of this video, right? The recording of this video. Let me see. Is it here by any chance? I don't think it's here, to be honest. It's not here, but I think in total of everything. No, wait, hold on. There's one right here. There is one right here. There's like one. I think there is like two. What is that? Three. This is four. Is this four in total? It's probably like what, four in total of like of freaking ENVA shenanigans. They just don't stop. They literally look. It ain't my fault, okay? All right. This man is farming. You know what? I'll give him. You know what? There's nothing wrong with this man farming the shit out of the whole situation itself. Shit, I would probably do the same thing too. I would probably farm these people as well. You know. Let's see. Can we get in there? Yeah. All right, let's see. How many videos has he done so far about the Genshin VA? It's the funny thing about it. It just writes itself, you know. These Genshin VAs just write themselves. That's the funny thing about it. It's not even us. We ain't even doing anything. It's literally all them, you know. That's the worst thing about it. So 1, 2, 3. We have 3 here in the past couple days. 3, 4. Four in 1 week, basically, you know? I don't think they're gonna do any of that stuff, but yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that.
Squid.
Oh,
Your subscription fuels our gaming journey.
You should have waited until after. Anyways, comment, like, subscribe, do all that. Turns out, then I'll catch you next time.